From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's Crypto Mornings here on LA with your top crypto news of 2021 today. The market comes back, but not as robustly as some would have thought. I told you there may be a second crash of the cryptocurrency markets after that major downturn earlier this week. In this recording, we'll go over my top crypto picks of 2021, but we'll also look at where the market's going to go and how you have to price the dip. We are still on a slide and we are not dipping, and that's why it's important to look at what's going on. In this recording, we'll be looking at where cryptocurrency prices are right now. We'll look at Ether and we'll look at Bitcoin, and we'll understand why there may be a second dip underway right now. We'll look at Doge and understand whether it's a dip or a slide going into this afternoon. We'll look at Polygon, among one of the picks of this channel, and why I told you not to buy it last night, because I said it could still go lower. We'll go back over why a slide is not a dip, and how you have to understand when you're buying on a dip that you're not buying in a resistance level. The coins we have been tracking on this channel, new recommendations are Solana and Synthetic. The coins which I recommended last week before the crash but have held up relatively quite well are Polygon, KUSAMA, Aave, and CARDANO. We'll check back in on those coins and seeing what they're doing this morning. And this is Morning's Crypto. How are you? This is Morning's Crypto, one of two shows every day, live in the morning, taped in the evenings, just after about 7:30 Pacific, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And in these shows, I go over the top crypto news of the day, so you are fully up to date. I cover all the coins, all the major coins, all the altcoins, so you will hear generally your coin mentioned or something by reference point. You'll also get a sense of why the market's going a particular direction, and you get a sense of where to price things, where to buy, and where to sell. Also, I'll give you recommendations on which coins to buy and how to become, as a beginner, introduced to the cryptocurrency trading market. This is LALATE with 400,000 subscribers. Next up, 1 million. Let's do it. Subscribe if you've not. Thank you for joining us on our live feed overnight. 9 hours of cryptocurrency coverage. It was our most watched crypto show ever. So we are surging, and help us get to #1 in the crypto space. Also, like this video and share it on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's get to the breaking news right off the bat. The cryptocurrency market took a nosedive a week ago on Wednesday, and is like clockwork. Again, it took another nosedive this Wednesday. Ironically, the dive was on the same time that the stock market was down. Stocks were down last Wednesday and down this Wednesday, but not as severe as the prior Wednesday. We also saw trading continue in a similar pattern on weekends. Viewers of this channel have already learned from me that there's a clear pattern of where coins start to go up on Fridays, have their biggest uptrend, their biggest robust, highest price level the entire week at about Saturday morning to about 11 o'clock noontime on the West Coast, which is about 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And then at that point, they downturn, they fall, they slide all the way from Saturday noontime all the way into early evening Sundays. And at Sunday evenings, they start to uptick, and generally Mondays are up days. That is how coins have been acting for 2 weeks, the same consistent pattern. But in the last 24 hours, we've also seen the same sort of pattern, which is at about 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, is the largest, most severe down tick of prices for coins. Not particularly clear why that time. But if you look at the charts yesterday, they consistently had the same downturn at the same point. Let's talk about pricing. Look at Bitcoin at that drop point. Look at Doge at that same drop point. That big drop point was consistent across all major coins yesterday. But when we look at this morning, there was also a drop point, not as pronounced, that happened at about 4 to 6 a.m. this morning. And then it rallied up. So here's what you need to know to start the morning when understanding what's going on with pricing of coins. Let me first go over pricing of coins and price movements. This is especially important if you're interested in buying a coin, and it's also especially important if you're interested in selling a coin. First, would I buy a coin right now? No. I think there's going to be a further downtick. I told viewers last night, don't buy yet if you haven't bought. I expect another 10 to 20% correction. And you can already see on these charts that they're down ticking right now. I told you to be aggressive in your purchasing because I want you to be cash positive. And I think my predictions are coming true. If we saw some of these are live charts, by the way, of course. If you're looking at this live chart, for example, right at Dogecoin right now, it's downdrafting. So if you've never owned Doge, you see there's a downdraft at the end. It's down ticking. There's Bitcoin. Look, it's dropping under 39. It was 41 this morning. And let's look at Ether, also pulling down. Polygon, also dropping. So they're all dropping at the same point. $1.85. Polygon was, I think, $2 this morning. So it's down 20 cents. It had that down moment at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then went up for a couple hours, and now is down ticking again at about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be patient on when you want to purchase. If you have not purchased, hold off on purchasing. How will you know when to really purchase? What I'm recommending viewers to know is the following. I've given viewers 2 benchmarks in determining when to price a purchase. If Bitcoin gets to 35,000 or Ethereum gets to 2,500, then you could see a major change in the market. Why? Here's what's going on. Is broadcast media are running the story. They're running the story. They're running the market crash from earlier this week. And they got every news angle they're going to cover. But they generally don't cover other coins with the exception of Doge. So they're not going to cover Polygon. They're not going to cover Synthetic or KUSAMA or anything like that. They're going to cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. If Bitcoin and Ethereum tests a 35,000 or 2,500, you're going to hear that as front page news on broadcast media. And at that point, the market could pull down even further. So you don't want to be caught in that downdraft. You don't want to be buying right before that, thinking, oh, we're at the bottom, and then it actually gets worse. So when purchasing coins over the next 7 days, I've advised viewers the following. Even if you're not buying a Bitcoin, I want you to watch Bitcoin and watch Ether because that will be the indication of where your pricing should be. If you see a movement towards 35,000 or 2,500 on either of those 2 coins, be cautious on not purchasing until you're certain we're at the bottom. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is that if you are owners, not sell. Do not sell. That these are just fluctuations, and the fluctuations will get out of their realm in the next few days. This morning's breaking news started with Anthony Scaramucci appearing on broadcast news, and of course he is head of a major investment fund that has had a major position in Bitcoin for many, many years. And his statements about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency were absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. If you missed the interview, let me tell you what he said. He said that he thinks that Bitcoin at 40,000 is not a worry for him because he has argued far before today, all throughout the year, and cites other people as well, saying that Bitcoin will go to 100,000 in 12 months. He made that prediction this last January. So he's predicting by January 2022 that Bitcoin will go to 100,000. And he cites a lot of other people who have made the same representation. Second, there's a lot of reports out there, and you've probably seen them, where Ethereum, they predicted to go to 7,000 by the summer. But what I was most excited about in the breaking news this morning was that Scaramucci's fund tracks activity and tracks analytics. And he says that the analytics still show that the major holders of the coins are unmoved, that the movements in and out that caused the crash this week was not institutional investors, was not major holders, but mainly retail consumers, like a viewer, like a YouTube viewer, that may have gotten spooked and got out. And that here's the big part that's very exciting, great news, that he says, once you start to see major institutional investors get in to cryptocurrency in a bigger manner, that is when you're going to see cryptocurrency numbers go through the roof. What are institutional investors? Banks, mutual funds, pension funds, retirement organizations, major funds, when they get into them, because they're not in. And he used the example of you could have 5% of U.S. banks or 4% of U.S. brokerage companies getting into cryptocurrency. He said that alone could bring the cryptocurrency up 300% from where it is right now. And he says it's going to happen in the next 12 months. He sees it's moving very, very fast. So if he is correct, that could be an enormous return on your money. So ultimately, if we're talking about a Polygon $1.80 versus a $2 Polygon, it's not going to make much difference if Polygon goes to $20 in 1 year because of Anthony Scaramucci's representations. Now, his representations are not unique because other people have said this as well, that the lack of major players in cryptocurrency still makes it a ripe market for a major upturn. But it could still take a downturn. Here's what you need to know about pricing coins, going back to the prices, is that I had warned you last night that coming from a trading background of Wall Street, you see that movements generally exhibit reoccurring traits. What's different with cryptocurrency, and this is very unusual for comparing it to stocks, is that when Bitcoin and Ether take a crash, altcoins all go down as well. So we don't see these major drops being universal to one coin. Now, here's what the difference is. Earlier this week, and this is where it becomes very peculiar, last week I recommended 4 coins. And when I recommended Polygon, Cardano, KUSAMA, and Aave, you know what was happening. I was recommending them as no other coins in the market were literally up. Day after day, Bitcoin and Ethereum were down 3%. Down 3%, down 3%. My coins were up 5%, 10%, 20%, 30% every few days. And the rest of the market was downdrafting. So was that a particular concern? It was a concern because ultimately, if these coins continue to go up and everything else is going down, the downdraft of other coins may take these predictions as well. And that's what happened with the market crash. That ultimately, how strong Polygon may be day after day after day, it's going to get hurt when the big players like Bitcoin get downdrafted. And that's what happened. Look at Polygon right there. So here is Polygon. Let me get my mouse in the graphic here. So here is Polygon. And it wasn't having a day ever like this, but you saw this was happening. You saw something was occurring because Polygon was never doing this type of movement. And then it just kicked in. And then came the crash earlier this week. Then came the rally. So viewers asked me, hey, do I buy Polygon now? I said, no. I said, I don't know if this is the bottom. First of all, I don't know if that's the bottom. That's the first concern. $1.80, where is that? $1.44. Wow. I mean, does that say $1.44? Yeah, it says $1.44. So it went to $1.44 for 10 seconds. But I mean, it's generally in the $1.50 range down there. It may have been hard to execute a buy order at $1.44. But would I have bought it at $1.44? No, because I don't know if it's going to retest that bottom. Now, here it started to trade up. And so some people may have gotten FOMO. Oh, I should have bought it. It was $1.44. Oh, no, look, it's $2. And so you woke up this morning and saying, oh, I should have bought it. And then it downdrafted this morning again. So it pulled back down again in that 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. window this morning, then rallied. And so you woke up, you had your morning coffee, said, darn it, I wasn't up. It went down, and now it's $2. I missed it. Well, don't be greedy, because look what's going on. It's going way below those 4 to 6 a.m. levels now. It's $1.80. And this, folks, you see what that looks like. That is a slide. That is not a dip. So since this peak at this point on Polygon, you are sliding. You are not heading in a dip. Let's look over at the other coins and see if they are sliding or dipping. So here's Ether. That's a slide. I mean, that's a free fall. I mean, that is a substantial free fall if you look at see how abrupt it's going straight down. So what's important to understand, when you see a free fall like that, it could be it could be faster and very abrupt. It could go all the way down. Let's look at Bitcoin. Same thing. Bitcoin has the same chart, same free fall. And that is right here. And then let's look at Doge. So they all downticked at the same time. So it's going to be no surprise that if you have 2 or 3 major positions, they're all going to downdraft at the same time. So when should you buy? Here's what you need to know, is that I fully believe that there is a possibility, there's a strong possibility, we could test February lows. We could come back to our February numbers for some of these coins. How do you know if we're heading there? Same way, Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you see Bitcoin and Ethereum day after day or hour after hour, heading in a path to go back to February numbers, then look at what Bitcoin's February number was. Get that number, write it down on a piece of paper. Look at what Bitcoin's February number was and figure out how quickly we're moving towards that February number. If we're moving towards that February number and you think we could be there in 3 days if this downdraft continues, then if you're interested in an altcoin like a Polygon, understand your Polygon coin you may be wanting to buy may be back at that February Polygon number at the same time. That's how you price a coin. These downdrafts of these coins across the market are very prevalent. So let's jump into the split screen right now and pull up coinmarketcap.com and let's look and see what the entire market is doing at this time. Again, it's important to understand that this market is changing by the hour. So we're pulling up coinmarketcap.com and let's look at the market. So the market's relatively flat. It is down 2.5% currently at a little bit after 10 a.m. Here's what you need to know. And I said it yesterday, but I'll probably say it every day. CoinMarketCap.com lists coins in number 1, 2, 3, 4 based upon how large they are. And the first number they list is the 24-hour movement. Up green, down red. Then 7-day, up red, up green, down red. Here's what I said to viewers yesterday, I'm going to say it again all this week, is if you see an up green, don't do a dance in a corner and celebrate because you may be down 35%. Ultimately, the 24-hour window doesn't mean a lot after a crash. You have to look in further into what's going on. So in the top 10 coins, is any coin up for the 7-day horizon? No. So Bitcoin is still down 20%. Ethereum is down 27% for the 7-day. Let's go out to the top 15 coins. And that brings us to my one new pick this week, which is Solana. There we go. So Solana is up today 7% and up 23% for the 7-day. Okay, this is a market standout. Now, a lot of analysts have been saying that people have been getting out of Bitcoin and into other coins like Solana. And this one coin specifically was mentioned in broadcast media yesterday, that they saw people getting out of Bitcoin after the Elon Musk tweet and getting into Solana. Why is this market crash occurring and why are these movements so severe? First, the Elon Musk tweet, while some people thought it was just a tweet that, was negative about a coin, called into question of whether Bitcoin is an environmental issue and that some fund managers, some investors that have very big positions can't be in certain type of positions where they are environmentally negative, where they're not good for the environment. And whether Elon was true or incorrect across the board, it's important to understand that a lot of people thought people got out of Bitcoin because of the environmental issue, not because of the pricing issue. And they got into Solana because they didn't have that type of problem. Second, the market crash was caused by a statement by the People's Republic of China, which said it would forbid institutions from investing in cryptocurrency going forward. It would allow private investors, but it's not going to allow institutions. And so that was the major reason why the market took a major crash yesterday. China's statement was, recently crypto prices have skyrocketed and plummeted, and speculative trading of cryptocurrency has rebounded, seriously infringing on the safety of people's property and disrupting the normal economic financial order. So China forbid financial institutions and payment companies from providing services even related to crypto transactions. And so they are now banned, whereas private investors may purchase but are warned against it. So let's get back to the Solana chart and let's see why Solana is defying the odds. What is Solana's chart today? It's relatively flat. It goes like this and has a little bit of an uptick. So it's relatively flat. Its 7-day chart shows that big downdraft during the crash, then a second downdraft, and suddenly an uptick. So here is an example of what I'm talking about. In the case of Solana, it retested the market crash number of yesterday this morning. So yeah, you got to be very careful. You don't want to buy and think you are out of the bottom. That Solana retested the numbers from yesterday this morning, but is absolutely rallying its feet off today, which brings us to Polygon. So Polygon is up 73% still from the 7-day. Why is Polygon doing so well? Because it has outperformed going into the crash and is holding relative way well after the crash. So Polygon, let's look and see where Polygon was when I recommended it, and let's look see at where Polygon is right now. So when I recommended Polygon, it was $1.12 last Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that. On Saturday, it went to 170. On Monday, it went to 171. It is 184 right now. So had you had bought it when I recommended, you are still cost positive, despite a crash, which is an incredible testament. Here's what you need to know about Polygon, is that you have to be careful on where to price it, because had you bought it right before the crash, you would be a little bit dizzy. Let me go over what's happened with Polygon. In fact, I have that chart on Polygon, so let me pull it up for you and show you that chart for Polygon, which I think is right there. So there you go. There's your chart on Polygon. See how much it has moved? So when going into the crash, it was $2. Viewers were sitting very pretty going into the crash. Then it fell all the way to 144, which you probably would not have been able to buy, but maybe you got 155. If you had your bought at 155, which I was recommending you not to do because we don't know if it's a bottom, you would have been very happy, because then within less than a half a day, it went to $2, which is an enormous return on your money. $1.50 to $2, an enormous return on your money. It then came back down, and then it rallied up to $2.12, so making you even a bigger profit. But here comes the concern. Let's look at this downward slide. It got to that $2.12 since about sunrise here on the West Coast today, $2.18 actually. And now it's heading to $1. It even got to $1.70 for a little bit. So it's fallen from $2.12 to $1.70 in just a few hours. So you have to be careful in understanding that Polygon may make a dip all the way back to $1.55. So ultimately, if you're holding it for 6 months, you're fine. But if you're trying to make that profit in short term, different situation. All right, let's go back into the split screen and see what's going on with the other coins this morning, starting right now. What's important to understand is that the market is downdrafting at the moment, which means it's down ticking. That the coins are coming off of their frothy rebounds this morning. And we're looking at CoinMarketCap in the split screen right now. Is there any other coin that is having a nice day? Well, Filecoin is up 14%, a coin I don't track on this channel, up 15% in a day in which nearly every coin is down. And that brings us to Shiba. Shiba investors are not in a good position. So if you are a long-time Shiba holder and you're going to hold it for a long time, you're fine. But had you bought Shiba in the last 7 days, you're not in a good situation. So Shiba, which we were tracking, but I said I'm not recommending, is now down 18% for the day, down nearly 50% for the 7-day. And here's a more severe situation about Shiba. When Shiba got its initial major push, which was after that, the morning of the Saturday Night Live appearance by Elon, it has since downdrafted since May 13th. Today, of course, is May 20th. So it has not had an uptick for 7 days. Is that a coin I want you to go into now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you look at its chart, it is literally straight down. You don't want to go anywhere near a coin downdrafting like that across the board. And there you go. We come to then Aave. Aave was one of my picks. What is Aave doing right now? When I recommended Aave, let's see how it had done. Initially, when I recommended Aave, it was up 28% in its first few days. Then I continued to push Aave and gave you a price target of 700. It was, here we go. When I told you to get into it a week ago, Wednesday, it was 516. Saturday went to 610. Monday before the crash went to 574. So where is it right now? 462. So it is slightly down from the Wednesday number. So it is down from, it is not rebounded enough since that crash. Let's pull up the chart on Aave right now and see where it is right now. So Aave is actually in a free fall right now. So now we know why Aave's numbers are not good. Aave went as high as what? Really? 623 this morning? No, let's look again. No, it went to 504. It went to 504 this morning and is now at 461. So you see what's going on with Aave is it went nearly to 516 again and lost that money. So would I get into Aave right now if I haven't bought it? No, I would wait for it. And there you go. Synthetic remains some of the other coins that is making big moves. I think I have that graph for Synthetic. Synthetic was one of the coins I recommended right before the crash. I think it's here. No, but let's look at Doge. So there is Doge. What is going on with Doge and why is it important to track Doge? Now, Doge is becoming part of the coins that is listed on broadcast media when they run their crypto stories now. So now they're listing about 4 coins because they usually list 4 items on a graphic, 4 stocks, 4 bonds. So they're listing Doge as their 4th coin in their graphics. And where is Doge? Doge today got as low as 30 cents. Yeah, can you imagine? So if we look at the 7-day, during the crash, Doge got to 23 cents. Today, it had a second downdraft of 31 cents. Where is it right now? Right now, it's relatively flat. It was trying to downdraft, but held a resistance level. So it looks like it's holding a resistance level, Doge, currently above 35 cents, which is good for Doge investors. It's currently holding a resistance level above 35. So if Doge drops below 35, maybe a market opportunity for you to get into Doge if you don't own it. You want to see, though, you reach the bottom. So let's look exactly on the chart right here. Let me show you where that 35 is. So you see the mouse. I'm clicking it now with the mouse on the graphic. 35 is around here. It tested 35 over here. So if you see Doge get below that 35, that may be the opportunity for you to consider getting into Doge. Remember, this is a slide, not a downdraft. So people who got in at 48 cents thought they were nice and pretty. They were not. They've been downdrafting. And there you go. With the recap of this morning's breaking news on cryptocurrency, let me go over what's going on. What's going on is Anthony Scaramucci, who's a major investor in cryptocurrency, appeared on broadcast media this morning and said, yes, there was a major market correction, but that market correction is predictable. It happens routinely, has happened over the last 10 years, and will continue to happen. He said that the sellers during the market correction this week of the crash were retail consumers who got spooked and got out. He said that the major holders who have been holding coins for many years are still holding. But he says that his prediction still remains the same. And this is the message I want you to listen to, because this one's a big one. He says, and he's a big fan of Bitcoin and Ethereum, not a fan of altcoins particularly. So he said, as to Bitcoin and Ethereum, he says that the institutional investors, which are banks, brokerage firms, and similar like that, have not gotten into cryptocurrency. He predicts them to get into cryptocurrency in even a 3 to 5% of the mark of them, 3 to 5% of those institutional investors, to get into cryptocurrency in the next 12 months by January 2022. He says when they will, and he says he's absolutely adamant they will, and he's not the only person saying that Bitcoin, currently at 40,000, 39,000 this morning, will go to 100,000. He said he made that prediction in January, and he's holding that prediction. Very fascinating news. He said a lot of coins are still being held by for Bitcoin and Ethereum by small number of investors like his organization. They've been holding them for many, many years. They're not selling. But he doesn't particularly have as much faith in altcoins as I do. I think that my 4 coins that I've been predicting for you to track or get into still remain major buys. Polygon, KUSAMA, bring up the graphic. Polygon, KUSAMA, Aave, and also CARDANO remain the coins for you to consider purchasing, along with Solana, which I added to the list, and Synthetic. Solana, Synthetic are joining those 4 coins. Solana is the only coin that is doing incredibly well, and it's no surprise because Solana has been all over broadcast media, where some investment firms have gotten out of Bitcoin and into Solana because of environmental reasons, not because of financial or price reasons. When buying a coin, my advice to you over the next 48 hours is wait for the bottom. Otherwise, you could get it at a price point where you are negative for a little while, and no one wants to be negative. My focus for you is getting in a coin at a below market price, having that price point, and being cash positive, being up on the coin from the first day of purchase. Finally, some viewers have been asking me questions. Long-term versus short-term? Sure. You could have some coins short-term. You go in, you make your 200% profit, get out, put it back into something, or buy it again on another dip. Some people just take their profits and then go put that money to something else. I had one friend who put $800 into Doge early on, not particularly early on, earlier this year, I think it was February approximately, sold out at 6 figures, took the 6-figure profit that Saturday morning before the SNL appearance, went and bought a house, got out of the market, but is ready to get back in again, get some money, make a profit, make 6 figures off of a $1,000 investment and get back out again. Some people do that. Ultimately, my advice to you is if you're a Bitcoin or Ethereum purchaser, hold that coin. Hold that coin, because all analysts across the board believe those coins are going to go up immensely in the next 12 months to 5 years. So there's no reason to sell them if you don't have to. It's a great way to have growth in your portfolio. But you can also have trades in the portfolio, like a Polygon, like a synthetic, like an Aave or KUSAMA. And I'll see you this evening on Evening's Crypto. That's coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you have questions or comments, drop them in the comments, and I'll feature them on tonight's show. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling. Remember to subscribe. This is the fastest growing channel there is. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year. Next step, 1 million. No one channel has ever reached 400,000 subscribers in 1 year. Also, like this video. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Reddit. Tell people to come over. The latest crypto news twice per day. I'm giving you everything you need to know about the market, how to price things, how to become a beginner, and enter the market. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.